I've been talking about book, lyrics, music, the craft. So what's next? How do we put all three of those things together? Collaboration, which I would say, hands down, is the most important thing about this program. Collaboration. Now, in the old days, people used to actually get together in a room around a piano and write a song together. That's what collaboration was. Up until fairly recently, actually. It had already started to not be that way so much, and then COVID really caused some problems with that. We were doing Zoom in this room. We've been doing it for like 10 years. So it's been a long time that teams have been working together and figuring out how to do it through email, phone calls, Zoom, whatever it is you have to do. So it's doable. There are some people who still swear by getting in a room and working, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. But a lot can be accomplished if you can't do that. The one thing you can't do is actually sing together on Zoom, unfortunately. But you can talk things through, and one person can play something for someone else to listen to. So what makes a good collaboration, and what should you be expecting from your collaborations in this room this year? Presumably, hopefully you've seen that we have a reading list that's part of what's up there on the core homepage, and I already sent you and asked you to read the screenplay for The Big Sick so that you'll be ready for the assignment tomorrow. That's the way things work here. Every month, we give you a play or a screenplay or a short story, some other kind of source material. All of them are already up there, so you can see ahead of time and read them ahead of time if you want to. And each month, we're going to take that source material, marry it with a particular type of musical theater song, like a comedy song, a ballad, a duet, an ensemble number. And I'm going to be giving you definitions. Probably most of you know what all that means, but to be clear and give you examples, I'll be giving you some examples of that tomorrow. And then we give you a prompt to write that kind of a song for that source material. And that's what you're going to go away and do. Sometimes you get more than one prompt. But what this does is it gives you practice writing all these different song types and figuring out how they work. And it also gives you experience with lots of different collaborations. So do make sure that you have read the material before you come here for each weekend, because that way your team, your collaborative team that you find out at the end of the Sunday session, can hit the ground running. If someone on the team hasn't read the material yet, then you can't have that collaborative discussion about how are we going to do this assignment. So do your team a favor and yourself a favor and make sure they're all up there. You don't have to go hunting for them. Back in the day, people had to order them or go to the library and find them, but we've got them all there for you, so you just have to download them and read them. I will be doing my level best to put you on a different collaborative team every month. That gets harder and harder as the year goes along, and it's a little bit harder to do the puzzle pieces, but I do my very best to get you into as many different collaborative teams as I can. Some of your collaborations will be great. They'll be awesome. You'll love them. Some of them might be difficult. Some of them might completely implode. But every one of those collaborations will be a learning experience of some kind. You might find your lifelong writing companion. You might find your collaborative marriage in this room. I cannot guarantee you that. It doesn't happen every year, but it does happen. At the very least, you should be able to find people that you do want to write with again, even if they aren't your forever, marriage in writing. You should find people that you do want to collaborate with. And then, maybe even more importantly, I think you should learn a lot about yourself as a collaborator. So, you can't ever really control other people. You can only control yourself. So as you go through these especially the difficult ones, it's an opportunity for you to examine, if I can't control that person, what can I do to try and make this collaboration a success? And, however limited that might be, there's always something you can do to try to keep going and get the most success you possibly can. And of course, that means by the time you finish this course, when you walk out of here, you'll have a really clear idea of what you need in a collaborator. So anytime you're looking at new potential collaborations in the future, you'll have, sort of a short list. You'll know. You won't have to, fight through it so much. You'll know right away. This is the way I like to work. If that works for you, good. If not, we probably shouldn't try. Now, in terms of these collaborations, some of them good, some of them bad, it's important for me to let you know that this program is not a therapy session, and I am not your therapist. However, it is perfectly all right to come to me and ask me for advice if you're having implosion problems. But ultimately, you guys need to figure it out in your own team. I'll be as helpful as I can, but at the end of the day, you got to be grown-ups and figure it out yourselves. I think the most important thing when you're in the, especially the collaborations that are going south, the most important principle that you can maintain is respect. You may not like the person you're working with. You may not like the work they're doing and that they're forcing you to work with. You may think it's, beneath your standards, or maybe it's good, but it's not the direction you wanted to go, or they're not following the prompt or whatever. But none of those things are a reason to disrespect someone. You can still respect them and move forward and do the best you can in the collaboration. I have a lot more to say about collaboration, but I'm going to save some of that for tomorrow when I give out the assignment.